Have you ever felt this feeling with your kids when you can just feel the anger, rage, or just very big emotions just building up, and you feel like you're about to snap at your kids, but it's not entirely their fault. It's just you cannot regulate anymore. I've been there so many times, but along the years, I've learned some really good techniques to kind of keep it cool for as long as I can. Hi, my name is Anna, and I'm a mom of 4 kids, 8 and under. And along these years, I've learned some really good things that help me enjoy motherhood most of the time. I feel like now I know more than I knew when I had just one kid. I can go through it much smoother. So if you feel like you need some encouragement or just practical tips from another mom, feel free to stick around. I'm trying to record this video before my kids wake up. It's real early, and I kind of feel like one of them is about to be awake, fully awake. So we're gonna go through these quickly. I have 5 actionable things that you can do alone with your kids to kind of regulate your nervous system and keep it cool for as long as possible, and just keep your head above the water. That's what we're doing. You know what always gets me is that we always talk about kids and toddlers having big emotions, and we have to help them regulate them. And that's completely true. But we treat moms or parents or adults like non-humans sometimes, that we do not have emotions. And right, we are older, so we can regulate emotions better, but I feel like sometimes they can skyrocket and get out of control for parents, especially as you're trying so hard to regulate someone else's emotions. So I feel like this is important to note that we are humans too, and we get big emotions too. And when you get like overstimulated, over-touched, over-spoke to, your physical state changes, your heart rate gets up, your breathing gets shallow, and then you just lose it. I am so guilty of that. I will sometimes displace my feelings onto my husband, onto, I don't know, somebody else. Because kids are so innocent, and even if they do something, it's not like they mean it. They're just small, So try not to get angry at them, but these emotions are still here, And these things that I'm about to mention are the things that you can do with your kids alongside, because I know the best way would be to get a vacation, but sometimes it's not possible. So we have to be creative and find ways we can regulate the nervous system when the kids are by our side. So yeah, 5 things that help me get myself to the reasonable stress level, if I can say so myself. The first thing I do when I feel like it's getting too much and I feel like I cannot handle it, I play my favorite music and I just start moving. I start moving like nobody's watching, but obviously my kids are watching and they think it's so fun. They think I'm being fun, but all I'm trying to do is to calm myself down or just boost up my mood a little bit. And it works because you know how workout works, but it's not always possible to go to the gym. So even light movement, especially with music, I feel like it gives me so much endorphins that I feel instantly better, and I can just groove, I can go about my day much, much better with more fun when I have music on. Another thing that I do, which goes to the same music category, is I sing. I'm not a singer, but any mean, and I'm not even gonna show you any clips of me singing because from my perspective, it kind of feels like just yelling. Because again, I cannot yell at my kids. I do sometimes, but for the most part, I know it's not their fault that I'm getting irritated. So I need to channel that energy somewhere else. So I just sing my heart out. And it helps so much because it opens up my lungs. And when I'm stressed, my breathing is so shallow. But when I'm singing, I get more oxygen in. And we like oxygen because it makes us breathe better. It gives me more energy. And I've read somewhere that singing can stimulate a vagus nerve. I need to fact check that. But I definitely feel like it makes me feel better. So I'm going to keep doing that, especially in the car. Oh my God. I sing my heart out. Like I yell. Okay. It's not singing, it's yelling. But it's fun. And my kids join me sometimes. You know, you do what you gotta do. Another thing that helps me a lot when I feel like I'm losing it. Give me a second. Another thing I do is I keep a bottle of bubbles on hand. And again, that's about breathing. I just start blowing bubbles. And again, I breathe. And kids think it's so fun to have bubbles around, you know? So this is another thing that helps me breathe better and open up my lungs and get that oxygen in. It just makes me feel better. It makes my kids have fun. So it's a win-win situation, you know? Use it or lose it. And if you do it outside, it's even better because that brings us to another thing that makes us feel just so much better. Is getting outside. Simple as that. And it's true, as they say, that demons just do not survive the outdoors. Whenever my house is just getting overstimulated, I just get all the kids and we just go either to backyard or I'll pack them in the car and we'll drive to a playground. Not a big fan of playgrounds, but again, fresh air always does the trick. If I'm not feeling like playing on the playground, which I will be honest, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I do not enjoy playing on playgrounds. So I will get my earbuds and I will just listen to a book or music. And I feel like that way I have the opportunity to have fun, you know? So, but just the fact of getting the fresh air and some vitamin D really helps a lot with my mood. You know, it works both ways. All these things that they help kids get their nervous system regulated a bit, and it helps the moms. So why not? Something that definitely reduces my cortisol level is getting some cold exposure. And I'm not talking about getting a cold shower, which that's amazing. I do that sometimes. But just like cold water on your wrists, or if it's getting like too bad, I'll get something from the freezer and I'll just like gently put on my face, which feels not awesome, but it actually just changes the state. I don't know how it works, but it definitely helps with stress. So if you noticed, all of these tips are basically focused on the physical state, not even mind, because sometimes it's really hard to change your mind. So it might be helpful to change your physical state and then everything else follows. And you know, sometimes none of these actually help. And I really, truly need to step away, either as my husband or somebody that I can get help from. We currently don't have a babysitter, but I have my sister around. For me, about a couple hours of rage cleaning when my husband takes the kids out somewhere to a play gym or whatever, actually, most of the time makes the trick. I can just release my emotions and go about my life with much better state. So spending time in solitude never fails, which I know people that it doesn't work for them because they need somebody around at all times. But for me, definitely the solitude is my cure from anything. I went to the point that I do take once a year vacation where I go without anyone to Hawaii for about 5 days. And then I came back such a better mom, such a better wife. You can't even imagine. It's like two different people. So yeah, I feel like my kids are ready for the day. And yes, and that's going to be it for today. If you enjoyed this video, or if you just need some mom encouragement or any tips or just a mom friend online, feel free to subscribe to the channel. I just started it. So if you give any support, any likes, follows would be really appreciated. Bye.